Support is the most misunderstood role in Strinova. This has a lot to do with the stereotypes surrounding the role from other hero shooters. I could end the video here, and that sentence alone would make you a better support player instantly. This, however, would not be giving the role the respect it deserves. There are currently 3 supports in the game. Kokona, a sniper who specializes in keeping the numbers advantage for her team. Celestia, the most traditional of the supports, who specializes in allowing her teammates more survivability through temporary armor and blinds. And Fragrance, an aggressive agent who specializes in making her whole team extremely deadly in 1v1s and executes. Let me get this out of the way. While supports are generally weaker in a gunfight than other roles, that doesn't apply while their abilities are active. In fact, since support's abilities also affect their caster, while they are buffed, they can be some of the most dangerous characters to duel. As a general rule of thumb, support aggressiveness follows a cycle, where they can be extremely aggressive while their cooldowns are active, but fall into a more passive role when their abilities are on cooldown. This is the reason you often want your support players to have the bomb, since they will often use their abilities during the execute for them to be off cooldown once the defense is ready to play retake. One thing I really enjoy with the support design in Strinova is how different each one feels to play from each other. This following section is dedicated to exploring those differences and how they affect their general support role.
Anytime is fine.
Let's be honest for a second here. The only reason Kokona is classified as a support is because Sniper is not an official role. Her active ability is extremely good at pocketing a single ally, allowing them to go from nearly dead to full HP in a short few seconds. Kokona's specialty is in keeping her team's number advantage and stopping her enemies from doing the same. This is reinforced by her weapon of choice, a sniper rifle, which specializes in quickly taking down a single enemy. Her passive, which allows her to instantly rescue her teammates, making it much safer to do so, and her ultimate, which revives an ally from the dead.
I was just enjoying my ice cream when you called me over. Can I get a little treat after the mission is done?
Ignoring the obvious, which is Celestia's synergy with Ming and Flavia, the advantages for running her are twofold. First of all, she allows her team to use heavy armor. While this might not seem like much, that extra 20 effective HP is often the difference between winning or losing a gunfight. Second of all, the simple fact that her buffs stack allows her to perform much the same role as an entry duelist. That is, to displace the opponent's crosshair and to survive doing so. You see this used mostly on traditional solo main teams, where Celestia stacks her stars on the duelist and temporarily acts as a secondary entry. Her awakenings allow her to specialize in either of the 2 specialties, whether by increasing the temporary armor given or by blinding the enemies once your teammate's armor is broken.
Let's test the latest aroma formula in combat.
Fragrance is unique among the supports in that her ability does not use cooldowns. Rather, it has 3 charges, which can use throughout the round. Additionally, all her sources of buffing rely on her teammates' proximity to her, which makes her better in situations where she is with her team. Her awakenings both incentivize different playstyles. Her A2 works similarly to the default support playstyle, where you buff your team before an execute and while playing post-plan, though it is also extremely good at allowing you to 1v1 most agents in the game. Her A3 allows you to keep your skill online indefinitely, which leans more heavily into a slower, more rotate-heavy playstyle, as the constant buffs and healing outvalue what your opponents can produce. For this section, I will be making 2 big assumptions. 1. That you pick your character last. That one should be self-explanatory. And 2. That you're comfortable with all the options. I shouldn't have to say this, but comfort trumps optimization. On defense, there really isn't a choice to be made. You play Kokona if you want to play a sniper, and you can play Celestia if your team already has a Flavia, along with at least one controller in Sentinel. On offense, the question of support choice is much more interesting. The first thing to consider is that your choice of support is tied to your duelist. both the amount and which ones are chosen. With no duelist, you shouldn't have any supports. Simple as that. With one duelist, you should only play a support if that duelist is Ming or Mara. Celestia with Ming and Fragrance with Mara, as those supports directly synergize with the duelist in question. With two duelists, two different situations can arise. Either you only have one of Ming or Mara, in which case you can refer to the single duelist section of this video, or you have both Ming and Mara, in which case I usually prefer Fragrance, though a Celestia can also work fine. With 3 duelists, Fragrance is by far the better option as she can enable very rushy comp, as we are currently seeing with the CN meta. With 4 duelists, there is only one option. Lock in the 5th duelist. The bit can only work if you're alt committed to it, and who knows, the defense might not know how to adapt to it.